Welcome to Confessions of a Wife, Mom, and Realtor, the Raw podcast, all about the messy, true lives of working moms in real estate. In this podcast, we talk about the hilarious mishaps and successes that are pretty much guaranteed when it comes to selling real estate while managing a family. I'm your host, Nicole Ward, the boots on the ground toddler mom who swears like a sailor and fails extravagantly, all while running my own real estate business. So grab a juice box and that basket of clean laundry that still needs folded, because we're going to jump right in. Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I've got Nikki Alden with me today. Nikki, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really, really good. I'm excited. It's late. I just got my kids in bed. You just got done driving. How far?
From Ohio to Georgia.
Okay. All in one day?
All in one day.
Okay. That's a long
9
drive.
hours.
9.5 hours driving with your kid in the car. But I mean, mommy son moments. So you probably really enjoyed it, huh?
I definitely did, because I don't get much one-on-one time with him anymore.
Yeah.
Now that he'll be 18 in just a couple weeks. So
And this is baseball, right?
this is baseball, yes.
So like the last season of baseball before it's all
This
done.
is this is our very last travel tournament that he will do. So it's a little bittersweet for me. I cry often these days.
Well, when you've got a kid leaving the nest, I mean, that's tough. I'm almost there with Blake. I guess we have his senior year left and he's not in baseball, but yeah, I get the feeling.
Thankfully, we do still have, all the senior year, we have the baseball season for senior year, but as far as like the travel, this is it, our very last.
Is he there with you? Can he hear you right now?
So he's actually in the gym working out right now.
Okay. That makes it easier. I was going to call him on screen and tell him to say hi.
So he might do that.
He probably wouldn't.
He probably would kill me
for
that.
All right. Well, then I won't do that if he walks back in. So, tell me a little bit about like your history. Like, when did you get your real estate license, and did you have Damien at that point, or was he really little? Tell me about that.
I was a new mom when I got my real estate license. Damien, I think, turned a year old right about the same time that I got my license. And, so I've never not been a realtor mom.
Right. I
So
feel like
just
realtor mom has been a thing I've been saying all day today, and that should be a more common term because we are a class of our own, realtor moms.
I don't know if everybody really quite understands everything we do.
I tend to agree. I'd have to agree with you. So what was it like having a 1-year-old and knowing nothing about real estate, getting your license and trying to grow a business?
It was really scary. I really honestly didn't know exactly what I was doing, because I was basically a kid myself. I had just turned 21. Well,
Young.
I had just turned 21 when I had him. So at the time that I got my license, I was 22. Um, a year
Super
later.
young. Super young to get into growing your own business. Wow.
Yes. And I did have some help from at the time, my dad's wife. She got into the business as well, and she helped me a little bit. But then just shortly after I felt like things were really starting to take off with us, she decided to get out of the business and go a different route. Um, and then it was just me. And that was actually about the time that I joined. I don't know if you know that I worked with Mark Young.
I didn't know that, but it's good to know now. So Mark Young, I think he's with the brokerage I'm at now.
I do believe he is now with the same brokerage
Yeah.
as you. Yeah, so we connected because we had gone to school together, and I was at this place where I was this young mom trying to grow a business. And just when I thought things were kind of starting to go somewhere, the person that I was doing that with left.
Right.
And so it, just by chance, we had been friends since middle school.
Wow.
Uh,
Did you guys go to Cuyahoga Falls together?
yes, so we went
Wow.
to middle school together, and then he ended up moving and going to a different high school.
Okay.
But so made a post that he was looking for somebody to help him, and I was like, I'm it. That I'm perfect. Sign me up.
Yeah.
And I went and met with him, and I mean, literally, like the next day, I started working with him, and that was early in his career also, and kind of together we built his team.
Hmm.
Um, and then Stacy Barbikas joined us.
Okay.
Um, and then after a couple years, everybody just kind of went our own ways, and um,
Okay. So what did you do with Damien those first few years when you were like building your business? Did he go to daycare? Did you have
so he
help?
never went to daycare. I was very fortunate to have um, his grandmother was able to watch him for us. Um, she worked more part-time, so she was able to help me when I needed it. And then also with real estate, sometimes my hours were also when his dad was alive. His dad would be off of work, so sometimes he would be with his dad too. So
Okay. Okay. So very, very, very beginning of the career. And so when Damien went off to school, would you say that like kindergarten, I guess, would you say that it was about that time that you were really able to kind of have the freedom to grow more because you had more business hours?
it was absolutely definitely a changing point in my career, because like you said, I did now have those designated hours where he was at school and I could do my thing and get as much done as possible in those hours.
Right.
Um,
And that's I mean that's key, that's golden. So we send my two kids, Reese and Graham, they go to daycare right now. And at first I was like, I'm never going to let my kids go to daycare, I'm never going to be that mom, but I'm so happy I do. And not because I need the time for my business, but I actually think it's good for them. They are being socialized, they're learning things, like it's going really well for them. So I think it's really good for them. And then I know I have a set 6 hours every day to get things done, and then right now at 8 o'clock at night while they're in bed. So it does make it easier. So what would you say, and you may not know these exact numbers, so I might be putting you on the spot, but what would you say your average number of transactions are a year, um, now, not then, but now?
Now I would say about 30 transactions is what I have been doing. I'm
Okay.
hoping, now that I'm kind of trying to start, not necessarily a team, but Jason and I, working together to just really help me to be able to help more people.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what Dan and I do. I mean, I'm
yeah, because
there.
I mean, being a single mom and 30 transactions is all I can handle, but I literally do every single detail of every transaction from start to finish by myself.
So you're
I
your
don't
own transaction coordinator, you're your own everything. And I don't know with your brokerage, but do you like input your own listings and all of that too?
Only thing that we don't do. They input out, like, so we have to fill all that
The
paperwork
forms?
out and then give it to them.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. But still, I mean, a one man show or one woman show,
One woman
30
show.
transactions is a lot. I mean, that's a lot. That's a constant wheel of things happening and going on. So, and you've been doing it for, I mean, D is what, 17?
Yeah, so this is my like 16th year, I
I
think.
freaking love it.
Yeah.
I remember when Damien and Blake were younger, we were still living in the falls, and I had told you that I was getting my license, and you were really excited for me, but you never told me how freaking difficult it was going to be. I know you didn't want to shoot me down, but I it's hard. It's so hard. And I was lucky because I started my business pre-kids. So I had like some setup, whereas you came in like a 1-year-old on your hip, got to grow a business. So what would you say? Tell me about a time that was like a really, really good, like one of the best moments as a realtor mom in your career. Can you think of anything like that?
Honestly, I have to say that I currently am living those moments, being able to be here where I am right, and I might cry.
No, it's okay. Cry.
Being able to be here and do what I do for him, it's those are the best moments for me, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Getting to travel with your kid, your boy, who's a man now, but that's always going to be your baby, always going to be your boy, and getting to do those things. Absolutely. Oh man, those days. That's a really good moment. That's a really good moment. Did you ever have like a crazy moment where you had to take D with you and maybe he was younger and like he did something crazy or something?
So, he never really did anything too crazy, but I did have to bring him a lot, after his dad died, and it was just me, and he did come with me a lot, but he would get all of his stuff in the car, and he'd have a little picnic and his games, and, for the most part, people kn people knew that he was with me, but they didn't know that he was with me because he just
Was quiet.
kept. Yeah, he knew that I had to work and
Yeah, absolutely. So, do you think that Damien has learned a lot about life watching you support him and build a business and basically run all of this from the beginning? Like, do you think it's had an effect on him?
I would hope so. I hope that he sees how hard I have worked, and I do feel that it has already shown in his current work ethic. He does, he has his own job, and he is a very good worker and very dedicated to, and he gets like employee of the month and so
Oh,
I like to think that some of that comes from watching me work hard to grow my business and
proud
work with
mom
my.
moment.
Yeah.
Super proud mom moment. So, you know, when you bring your kids along on showings, a lot of, if you're ever on Facebook blogs like Real Estate Mastermind or anything like that, you get really mixed reactions when people like, I have to take my kids with me. And you get some people going, absolutely not. That's so unprofessional. How could you do that? And then you get other people going, why wouldn't you? You got to do what you got to do. But for you, I think the unique situation for you is that you've been in the business so long, everybody in your area knows who you are. I see your name all the time. Are you like 100% referral based business at this point? And do you think that working with people makes the difference?
It is I my business pretty much has been 100% referral based from day one. And I do think that that helps. And I also, you know, I feel even if it wasn't personal referral, sometimes people that we meet that, we're not always the right fit for clients. So I think that, somebody that wouldn't have respected, because I respect my clients to the fullest. So, I would only ever bring Damien if it was, an absolute necessity and nobody else was there to watch him.
Hmm.
So I probably would try to work with people that understood that, and they always did. And
Right. You
so
never had a problem with it.
yeah,
That's really nice. So I think that answers that question a lot for the debacle or the debate of can you bring your kids or not is you get to choose who you work with. You're running your own business. Nobody else gets to tell you what to do. And if you're working with people that care that you have to bring your kid with you on a showing, then maybe they're not the right people to work with.
yeah. And like I said, because the thing is it's I'm not we're not bringing them because we want to. As
Right.
much as I love him, I'm not bringing him because I wanted to, you know?
You have to. I mean, it's the nature of the game when you're running a business and you're a mom. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking back on more of this conversation, you building your business and working with Damien, were there ever times in your business where you thought, I can't do this with a child? Like I can't do both. And did you ever question that? And if you did, how did you get through it?
So there was definitely times where I questioned if I would be able to do it and support us because being so young and a young mother and having those extra expenses and still trying to pay to run a business, pay for everything else, so it was just, will this all work? And I basically gave myself a time frame, and I basically told myself, if by the time I was 30, if I couldn't support us by this, I would have to figure something else out. And thankfully, by the time I was 30, I was supporting us.
I mean, that's amazing. And this industry is so not for the faint-hearted. So, the fact that you gave yourself an ultimatum and a deadline and you beat it and you proved to yourself that you can, you would, and you did. I mean, that says a ton about your character, not only as a person, but as a businesswoman and a mom, because you made it happen for your kid, right? I'm not trying to make you cry, I promise.
I know, I'm gonna cry.
No, I just, I'm so happy that you decided to talk to me today about some of these things. And we don't really have to go into a whole lot more. I really wanted to give people an opportunity to listen to you, because you're one of the first people I've talked to that's been doing this for 16 years. And now you've got a boy getting ready to graduate, and you've got a lifetime of real estate experience and momhood experience. And I think it's important to share those things. So I really appreciate you talking to me today. If you could give one bit of advice to maybe a newer agent or an agent who's a mom and feels overwhelmed and, just overwhelmed in general, what bit of advice do you think that you could give them?
Oh gosh. I think the first thing would be to take a deep breath, because anytime I'm feeling too overwhelmed, that's the first thing I do is take a deep breath, because just give yourself a second and then just remember who you are and that you've got this.
Believe in yourself. I mean, that's so important. I feel like if you are, what you set your expectation to be. And so if you don't believe in yourself and you don't think that you can do it, you won't. So you have to truly believe, take a deep breath, and truly believe that you got this in order for, to manifest the rest of it. Because the rest of it's time blocking and, the million other things you need to do to build a business. But the number one most important thing is you have to believe you can do it or you won't. So
Absolutely.
if I had anybody that wanted to reach out to you or talk to you or connect with you, how would they get in touch with you?
So I am on Instagram, Nikki Alden _realtor.
Okay. That's if that's the best way. So Nikki, Nikki, right?
Yes.
Alden, ALDEN _realtor. If you guys want to reach out to Nikki Alden, go ahead and do that on Instagram. I'm sure she'd be happy to talk to you. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. And you guys stay tuned for next week. We have another awesome realtor that's going to be doing an interview with us. And thanks again. Bye, guys. Hey, mamas. Thanks for tuning in to Confessions of a Wife, Mom, and Realtor. If you liked today's confession, make sure you subscribe to hear more juicy stories from other realtor moms like you. See you next week.